Good afternoon, Phineas. And my first question pre-recording was to ask you how to pronounce your username. So I'm going to ask you again to make sure everyone knows how to pronounce it. How do you pronounce your own username?
Either Phineas or Phineas. You can
Okay.
pick. Yeah.
Where is it coming from? How did you come up with that username?
I used to be like a giant Harry Potter nerd. And there was like one character that's like not a main character, but has a couple appearances, and that I just thought was a very cool character in the books and a little bit in the movies. And their name was Phineas.
Got it.
So, yeah.
Forgive my ignorance because I guess I'm a little bit older in terms of generation. So I know Harry Potter, but I don't know all the characters. So I
Oh, it's
guess,
a very small character.
okay.
So, yeah.
Well, still, I've only seen a few movies. I haven't actually read the books. Have you read all the books? All
Oh,
the
many,
seven, I
many
think.
times. Yeah.
Many times. Oh, wow. Okay, great. Well, I'm glad that someone's still reading because I love to read. I don't know how many people are still reading actual books. I'm glad you've read this at the very least. Tell us more about who you are. And usually I ask either for 3 keywords or 3 numbers, but really it's just about whatever you want to say to introduce yourself. Who are you? To the extent you want to share, obviously.
Yeah, to the extent. I'm still a kid. In high school in the US, but I mean I play geoguessr 24/7 basically. And it's just been what I've been doing for the last coming up on 2 years. Well, one almost two. I enjoy coming home every day and just seeing what's new with geoguessr community and just vibing along.
Before we talk about GeoGuessr, do you want to share a little bit about your other passions or your other hobbies or interests?
I'm not a professional, but I enjoy playing some tennis. Um, been doing that for, I don't know, with sort of friends or like school and that. So I play for them. I mean, I don't have a ton of passions because geoguessr just takes up like most of the time.
About
But
tennis, do you have any role model in tennis? Any tennis player that you particularly appreciate or like? Hint, hint, I've become Swiss last year.
I gotta say no to that. Honestly, I look up. There are some very talented players that I on my school team that I kind of look up to that are just I don't they're really really cool guys and quite talented. So yeah.
Well, that's very nice. It's actually quite unusual to hear, for me at least, that a role model or people you look up to is actually directly in your vicinity. It's actually quite nice and healthy in terms of this type of competition, which inspires you to do better for yourself. Let's talk about GeoGuessr. This is the reason
Good.
why we're here today.
Yeah.
First of all, what prompted you to start playing GeoGuessr? How did you hear about it? Was it a video? Did you just randomly stumble upon it? What happened?
I'm 16 right now, and I feel old and young at the same time. But I actually first played GeoGuessr surprisingly when I was 11 years old, which seems crazy to think about a tiny little kid. But yeah, when I was 11 years old, I was introduced to it, and I played just basically on and off whenever I just like I've played a ton of games. I'm a video games person. Over the years, I've played a lot of games, and whenever I got bored, I would just like, hey, let's play GeoGuessr, and I would play it, yeah, on and off for 4 years or whatever, and then I kind of rediscovered. Well, yeah, I started using Twitch about 2 years ago, exactly, actually. And then a couple months after that, I was bored, and I didn't normally stray away from the normal games that I watched and on Twitch, but I tried to search up GeoGuessr and I found a expansive GeoGuessr community, and it was really interesting. It was like nothing I had seen before, and I became part of it, and I've been loving it ever since. So that was about almost 2 years ago. Yeah.
How much do you practice? You say it's 24/7, but I gather you still sleep and go to school and have some homework and play tennis. So how much do you
Yeah.
really practice or how much you really play?
Honestly, some weekends I'll be well not I'm not playing every second, but I'm like sort of just like in the community reading, looking at games, looking at watching a stream or something of GeoGuessr. But there are some weekends that I can honestly be spending 12 hours a day. And on weekdays, it could be anywhere from 3 hours to 7 hours on a weekday, just the entire afternoon. Yeah, I spend basically all my time doing it.
What makes it so addictive to you? Is there a specific goal you're trying to achieve?
Oh, I'm trying to learn more, work harder, just get better at geoguessr.
What do you find the most difficult? Because you're one of the very best players already. What do you find the most difficult at your level currently? What do you still struggle with, if anything?
Like specific in geoguessr, or just like sort of overall in geoguessr.
Both, whatever
If I was
comes
going
to
to say
mind.
specific in geoguessr, then I think Russia is impossible. But overall, I'd say just the in the past 3 months, I'd guess maybe 3, 4, the community has changed a lot, partly for good, but I think overall in a way that I don't really like it.
Oh, that's interesting. Do you want to
Yeah.
tell us more about what do you feel is not great about the way the community is evolving? And I'm very
Oh,
new to it, to be very
yeah.
frank, right? I just do my little YouTube videos. I play, I guess, as an old guy compared to you. So I guess I'm old and young in my mind, just like you, but with a few more years. But I didn't notice anything specific in terms of the community evolving. So that's an interesting take that you have on it. Tell me more. What makes you think it's going not the way you like it?
Everything is centered around competition, which is not how it used to be. It's a lot more, how do you say, like chaotic, maybe, really more competitive. Like everything has to be a tournament, everything has to be a competition, which it can be fun. It really can be a lot of fun. And then there's sometimes a lot of time that just like, why can't we just like, isn't it like the old days where there was like one person at one time that was on Twitch streaming geoguessr, and you could just chill and it wasn't competitive, and you could actually like you could be and get really good at the game, but it wasn't a competition for money or just a competition at all. It was just learning, and also like, oh hey, I finished first. Like,
So do you feel there's too much pressure in terms of competing as opposed to learning? I don't want to put words in your mouth. I'm trying to understand exactly
oh,
what
I
you'd
don't think
like
there's too
to
much
see.
pressure, but there's people that are come in after seeing Rainbow and just like it's impressive, honestly. They mastered the game in 2 months. They try to, at least.
Do you feel there's too much attention on people competing? Is that what you're trying to
Yeah,
say?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. And you'd like to see maybe more attention and visibility to just non-competitive play as well, in terms of maybe learning a bit more rather than competing, or just, as you said, right, chilling and relaxing, playing
I
geoguessr
suppose
without
so.
competing.
It's not like I'm trying to really attack the community. I love the community. And I'm not saying all this competition is like bad. It's good, and it's fun to watch and compete. It just has its downside.
That's fair. And I really appreciate that you're very outspoken and straightforward. It's very healthy, to have different voices to say, hey, I'd love to see the community evolve in a particular way. Nobody's owning the community. So it's important that everyone feels represented. And this is true of any community. I mentioned very briefly before the recording, I work at Google. What I do specifically is I work with external communities of developers. It's the very same thing that I'm observing. People have different visions, different expectations for how a community can evolve. So I really appreciate that you're very honest and straightforward. So don't be worried. I think everyone's getting the message that you're not trying to attack anybody specifically, but you're just trying to see if there could be a better balance, perhaps.
Yeah, yeah.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to start to play? And in fact, let's enhance that question by asking you, someone who's watching all these videos and they can see Rainbolt and others competing, they may be discouraged by thinking, I'll never get to that level. So what advice would you have for someone starting today playing geoguessr?
Anyone who sees Rainbow and wants to start playing, but thinks that they can never get to the level, is not going to get to the level. If they think and they understand what is actually going on, and they actually say, I think I could do that, then they can actually do that. Like, there have been people in the last 5 months who have come in, and they're the people who have said, that looks crazy, but I'm going to try it. and they're the people who have come out and have honestly come up to the very high pro level. But the people who just say no aren't the ones who are at the top right now. So if you really, I don't know, if you really like say that it's like that's crazy, I can't do that, then you're not going to be able to do it.
So your message is to keep trying without looking too much at the pro players. Be inspired, but just focus on your game.
Yeah.
Have you visited any location as a result of playing in real life?
I haven't gone anywhere because of something I saw online or on geoguessr.
Where do you most hope to visit?
I like to visit places like Hawaii or New Zealand or Mongolia or Norway or Iceland.
Is it because of the mountains or the wide nature landscape? Not very
the beauty, the vibes, the just how it looks. Yeah, just to be there, it seems cool.
Very nice. What's one thing that gets you excited about what's coming up? Maybe this year or the remainder of the year or next year or the next few years. Is there anything you're waiting for? Maybe it's like
I'm
a
waiting
gadget.
for my school years to be over.
Really? You do not
Yeah.
like school, or you're eager to go to college? What is it?
I don't like school, I guess. I'm not really eager to go to college. I'm just eager to get out of school.
What do you want to do after school? Like when school will be over, I guess in a couple of years, right?
I don't really have a ton of plans. I don't really have plans. I want to do something that I can be happy with, I guess. Yeah.
Any inclination towards something? Because you're very good at geoguessr, so clearly you're very humble, but you know that you're also smart, and you have a specific skill in that geography segment. So there's something to do there. Go ahead.
For the past 5 years or whatever, I've just been really interested in geography. So I don't know. At this time, it'd be cool to do something geography related. But
what about teaching?
I don't know.
Any?
Oh, I don't fancy myself a teacher. But maybe that could change.
I don't know. You seems to me someone who's humble and who's not hesitating to express different opinions and not go with the current. So I think that could actually be a very nice to share with others as a skill, as a way to think. So that's why I'm thinking about teaching. My mom used to be a maths teacher, so I have a high opinion of school and teaching in general. But obviously, it's just a discussion with you. I'm just trying to have a conversation. I'm not forcing you in any way. How would I be able to force you anyway? If geoguessr put together, the company put together a small team to manage and nurture the community, would you be interested with such a job?
I'd be interested. I just don't think I could do it with my age and my little experience. But yeah, that's something that I've actually thought about for like a year.
Really? You should say it. Say it. Now we've talked about it, so hopefully they will see it.
Well, I mean, the geoguessr developers, they do not know the game as well as the people who play the game do. That's a good way to put it. They don't know their game as well as the people who play it a lot do.
Don't worry about age and experience. You may be young today, but you have a lot of insights. To your point, right? It is always the community for whatever domain we're talking about that has a better knowledge of the actual product, the service, the game, whatever it is. So
yeah, and that's why what Plunkett's been doing is really cool, because they can do some really cool stuff that they know will succeed and should succeed.
Another thought here, again, completely random. It's not me who has the decision power around this, but would you want to work for Street View at Google and help create better images?
I don't have any experience with images or cameras or something, but yeah, I mean, that'd be a cool thing to do.
Any final words you want to share with the wider community, the geoguessr community, before we wrap up the interview?
I think it's only 2 channels that I'm banned from, and that would be Rainbolt and Duskden. And if I could get unbanned from those, that would be great.
What happened? Do you want to share?
A bit too much trolling, I suppose.
In what sense? Like too many messages?
Honestly, I don't know. I think just honestly, for some reason, when I'm trolling, it just gets taken the wrong way.
Is it humor taken the wrong way? Just trying to understand, because I'm not privy. I don't know what happened.
I suppose so. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry. That was kind of weird. Like one more thing. Okay.
No, it's not weird at all. You sound like a genuine person, and you accepted to do this interview, and you're very straightforward, and you're just asking, very politely, without any animosity, asking to be unbanned from. Is it what the Discord server, Rainbolt's ranked Discord server?
No. I mean, okay. Well, I actually, yeah. I mean, if Rainbow's watching this, I think he's pretty cool, very cool, and I feel like I kind of got pushed away from him because of jokes taking the wrong way, and people that have now been banned from the community were the ones who sort of really disliked me, I guess.
Do you feel
And
your
I'd appreciate him remembering when he had very little viewers and I was there, but that's about it.
And do you feel your jokes, or what you call your trolling, was perceived the wrong way? It was not your intention, or
Oh,
you
honestly,
want to apologize
I
for
don't
it?
remember what I said, to be honest. I just say things like "nice guess" when they're very far away or something, and it's not a good guess.
So sarcasm, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's very hard to try and be a very joking person when no one actually knows what you're really like. Yeah, that's why for a long time, about a year now, I've been wanting to get into streaming and content creation, but every step I get closer, I always get pushed back for some reason. Like the past 3 months, it's been with the unstable internet. As soon as I get a microphone, a good microphone that I can actually start streaming with, the internet starts bugging out. Like, but yeah, I'm working on it, and I really hope that I can get into streaming content creation, because that is what that's what I've been watching for 3 years of my life now, and geoguessr for 2. So yeah.
Listen, based on this interview, you sound like a good guy. So, I don't see any reason why you should not be given a second chance. And of course, I wish you best of luck in streaming as well. So you mentioned it's which Discord servers in particular, Rainbow ranked, and there's another one, right?
Twitch channels, and I guess I'm banned from Rainbow stuff. But I mean, if Rainbow wants to keep me banned, that's his, that's what he chooses. But I'm not really a problem, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
I heard you loud and clear. As you know, and I'm not privy to all this. I just hope that indeed things can be healthy in the community. And I guess your takeaway possibly is to be more careful, right? If you do get unbanned, I suppose you'll be more careful with sarcasm, no, so that people are not going to take it the wrong way. I mean, it's a bit ironic because I'm a Frenchman and we do a lot of joking in France, and French humor or European humor is also quite different from American humor. So I know exactly what you mean in terms of perception also when it comes to humor. So it's I often like to say, what I do is humor. It doesn't mean it's funny. Any final thoughts? Any final words?
That's a good analysis, having humor but not being funny.
Well, if you're conscious of it and you realize that not everyone may like your type of humor, that's fair. It's just indeed after some point, if nobody's laughing, then I guess it's on us to adapt a little bit, or just to find another group of friends. But in this case, it's a bit sad, in my opinion, that anyone would get banned. I mean, unless you repeat the same offense multiple times. And again, I don't know what happened exactly, but
honestly, I don't even remember what happened, to be honest.
Okay, all right, that's fair. I hope someone watches this and maybe gives you a second chance, because I don't.
It's all right if they don't, but
Okay.
it's okay.
Clearly, you have a lot of thoughts. You have a lot on your mind. If I may suggest, and you've read books, or maybe you keep reading, I suggest indeed, push yourself to do that streaming, push yourself to maybe write a blog and share your thoughts and get feedback and maybe coaching from others, so that what you say, what you write is not going to be taken the wrong way by most people. You do want to have most people, well, I don't know if it's most people, but at least the people you're talking to understand what you're trying to say, the messages you're trying to convey. Clearly, you have some thoughts, whether it's geoguessr or other things. So don't lose hope. Don't give up. And don't worry. And stop talking to me about saying you're 16. I don't care. I'm way older than you are. I don't care how old you are. I don't see you. And I just, take you for what you're telling me. And you look like a good guy, at least based on what you're telling me. You're very polite. You're very nice. You're not trying to attack anybody. So, I can only wish for you to be successful. Keep smiling. Do things. Yeah?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
You don't have to thank me, but I'm willing to, follow up with you, if I can be of any help. Send me an email. You can find my email wherever because I'm quite visible on the internet. But even offering a second pair of eyes on what you want to stream about, or a joke because you're not sure it's going to be taken the right or the wrong way, count on me. That's valid for you. That's valid for anybody who's watching this. And why do I do this? Because I don't know. That's just who I am. So anyway, don't give up.
Thank you for the insight and the offer. Yeah.
Sure thing. All right. So that's a wrap for the interview.